Hey everybody, Harv here. Let's rock and roll and let's talk about Germany in the 1920s and 1930s. So, after World War One, we have a completely different Germany. The Hohenzollern family, gone. Kaiser Wilhelm II, gone. That second German Reich, gone. We have a republic in Germany, a liberal government. Okay, and it was going to be created after that Treaty of Versailles and Germany's defeat in World War One. Now we know, and we talked about this at the end of Chapter 18, World War One, that the Weimar Republic is going to have a fundamental flaw, and that fundamental flaw is the Treaty of Versailles. It is going to be the fatal flaw. It will never be able to escape signing that treaty and accepting it, and well, it had to. So it was almost just a government that's almost doomed to fail. Um, and we're going to see that it will never be able to overcome that Treaty of Versailles. But let's talk about kind of what went down with this government in the 1920s and 1930s. So this republic was liberal, and it was headed by social democrats, and it was forced to accept the humiliating terms of the Treaty of Versailles. And you should, in your notes, write down and know what were some of those humiliating terms, right? The war guilt clause, the reparations, losing all that territory, right? There's a Poland now, so obviously Germany had to lose, or Germany had to lose a lot of land. You have Alsace-Lorraine is back to France. Okay, they've lost some territory to Czechoslovakia. All right, so this is just terrible for the Germans. Okay, and because of that Treaty of Versailles, it's going to be a really easy target to some of our other political groups, the Nazis. The Nazis will really hold the Weimar Republic and really connect them to the Treaty of Versailles and really make sure that the people know about it. Now, their constitution was liberal. Okay, so it's a Weimar Republic, all right, but it had a fundamental flaw. Two of them. One is that it was really easy for like extreme political parties to gain some influence in government. Okay, through their structure. Two, and this is a really important one. Okay, was that in times of an emergency, there was a special decree, 48, that allowed the president to become a dictator. This is how Hitler is going to take power. Remember, Hitler is going to take power in completely legal means. He will try a revolution early on, but it's not going to work. He's going to try a coup. Okay, but this is how Hitler's going to take power. It's going to be constitutional. So he's going to, just like Mussolini, and in contrast with the Soviet Union, Hitler will get power legally, and it's through this loophole and this fundamental weakness within the Weimar Republic's constitution. All right. The Republic was also very unpopular from abroad, and it's pretty self-explanatory. They signed the Treaty of Versailles, and the public was furious with that, really upset with that. And in the early 1920s and 1930s, you're going to see so much instability in Germany, and the Nazis will bring order and stability. There's going to be a big price to pay, right? It's going to be completely totalitarian. They're going to cause World War II. They're going to destroy Germany, but there's going to be order, and we will see the Nazis actually bring back economic. Will facilitate economic progress. Hitler's going to get them out of the Great Depression through massive government spending on the military. But early on with this Weimar Republic, times are terrible. With the reparations, inflation is insane in Germany. Their currency is pretty much worthless. Take a look at this picture over here. This woman is using it as fuel for her stove. The currency, their money. That's like taking hundreds of dollars of bills and just lighting it on fire to heat your soup or water. A lot of people in Germany during the 1920s and 1930s would use the currency as wallpaper because it was more expensive to buy wallpaper than use the money on the wall. That should tell you enough, okay? Inflation was awful. Their currency was awful. And with the invasion of the Ruhr and France taking their natural resources, their factories, the German people are upset, they're pessimistic, they're humiliated, they're angry, and those are going to be very ripe. The conditions are very ripe for Hitler to come in and promise the Germans the world and eventually destroy their world. Okay? And let's talk about him. So Hitler, all right, he is Austrian. All right. He was wounded in World War One, and in his early years after World War One is where he kind of got his fascist ideologies, where he became a nationalist. And he is going to form the Nazi Party, which stands for National Socialist German Workers' Party. Now, you don't need to know the name, the full name of the Nazis, but I do want you to make note of the word socialist in there and think about that. We know that Nazis are extreme conservatives. They're fascists. They're the ideological enemies of communists and socialists. Why on earth would they have socialists in here? Well, it's trickery. Hitler is a trickster, and he is going to create the appearance that he's very, uh, you know, he cares a lot about workers, and he's going to create the appearance that he's there for workers and he's more equality, and he's going to try to make some socialist talking points, but in a conservative way. So it's really meant to kind of fool people. Okay, now Hitler was very the Nazis were and Nazism were characterized by extreme nationalism, anti-communism, much like fascism, but also very anti-Semitic. Okay, and that's a key part of Nazism that kind of contrasts with Mussolini. And I'm not too sure if the fascists were really anti-Semitic, but anti-Semitism is a key construct and core belief within Nazism for Adolf Hitler. Very much strong against the Treaty of Versailles, calls for the union of Germany and Austria, which will be called Anschluss in the war, but we know there's another term for it, and you need to go through your notes and look at it, right? Remember, I'm not gonna tell you, but I want you to go back, right? We have Kleindeutsch and Grossdeutsch. Go back and figure out which one that is. Okay, he wanted to reform their agricultural sector because it was getting hit so hard within the Great Depression. But he is going to use socialism in the Nazis' political name to kind of fool people, to be very misleading, to bring more appeal to the Nazi Party, all right, and to try to bring workers to his side, because he knew that was a big part of the electorate who could help bring the Nazis to power. Okay, now he's gonna have a couple, and we're gonna see this kind of change throughout, but Hitler's gonna use at the very beginning, there's two groups that are important. There's the brown shirts, the SA, and the black shirts, the SS, and we'll talk about both groups. Okay, when Hitler first kind of comes to power, he's going to have his own Nazi military. This is not the German military. Okay, his own kind of crew, and they're called the SA, these stormtroopers. All right, and they're going to be very much Napoleonic, very very much fascist, and that they're going to be forcing intimidation. He's going to terrorize, kill political opponents, okay, and in order to gain influence and gain power. Okay, eventually he's going to kill a lot of these people. Okay, he's going to be very Stalin-esque. He's going to see any of these stormtroopers who threaten his power. He's just going to get rid of them, and he's going to create another group called the SS. But at the very beginning, he has his paramilitary called the SA. Okay, and he's going to follow Mussolini's path. Okay, he's going to use terror, force to achieve power, kill political opponents, attack the media. Okay, Hitler is going to be very much a dictator, a totalitarian dictator from the get-go. Okay, and he's going to attack the peace treaty, attack Jews, very anti-Semitic, attack liberalism, communism, socialism, attack Bolshevism. Those are going to be his main talking points. All right. Now, early on in his career, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to attempt a coup. So he will try to take power through force. Okay, much like the Soviets, much like Napoleon. And Hitler, ladies and gentlemen, when you think of Hitler, think of Napoleon. They are going to be so incredibly similar. Both are going to invade Russia. Both are going to get taken out by the Soviets in the Russian winter. Or, excuse me, Napoleon did not get taken out by Russian Soviets. But you kind of understand, Russia's going to be a downfall, a coup. All right, very similar things. Now, but Hitler's coup failed. Okay, he's going to get thrown in jail for that, but he's going to be hailed as a hero to many Germans, because this guy's out there. They're going to view him as this guy's out there trying. He's trying to make a difference. He's trying to help us. Okay, and while he's in prison, he's going to write his very famous book, Mein Kampf. All right, that is widely known. It's called My Struggle. Mein Kampf stands for My Struggle, where he's going to outline his beliefs. Now, this is going to be really interesting, ladies and gentlemen, all right, because Winston Churchill is going to read this book. Winston Churchill will read this book and know exactly what is coming in the 1930s when Hitler takes power. And so you're going to see Neville Chamberlain. We're going to talk about Neville Chamberlain and his policy of appeasement, giving Hitler what he wants. Excuse me. Giving Hitler what he wants. Giving Hitler the Sudetenland, trying to appease Hitler to prevent war. Winston Churchill is going to be so upset at this because he's going to say, I read his book. I know exactly what he wants to do. He wants to invade the East. He wants to, murder the Jewish population. He wants to do all these terrible, evil things. Winston Churchill is going to be very much against appeasement because he knew that Hitler could not be reasoned with. He knew that you could not reason with him. And so that's some important foreshadowing. You're going to see Winston Churchill during the war refuse to even meet with the Nazis for a peace treaty. Refuse that because he knows Hitler. He's read his book. He's read the book. All right, and Hitler lays it all out there in his book exactly what he wants to do. All right, so it's going to be really ironic when the world is so shocked at some of these things that he does. Like he invades the Soviet Union. He does some of these crazy things. Well, he wrote it down in his book. He knew it. He wrote down exactly what he wanted to do. And so to Winston Churchill, it was no surprise what he wanted to do. Okay, his anti-Semitism, anti-communism, and his goals for Eastern expansion called Lebensraum. And that is going to be a reason why he makes that fateful decision to invade the Soviet Union. Okay, now let's talk about during the early years of the 1920s. In order to repair inflation, you're going to see the Weimar Republic try to introduce a new currency. They're going to try to have new reparation payments, okay? You're going to see the world try to help lower their reparation payments, okay? And in the 1920s, you're going to see a new president, and it's Hindenburg. He was an important figure in World War I, all right? And he's going to become the president. And this kind of marks Germany's movements towards conservatism. And you're going to start to see in the 1920s, Germany's economy gets a little bit better. All right. You're going to see the 1925 Locarno agreements help integrate Germany back into the European system. So things are looking up. But the Great Depression hasn't hit just yet. Okay. Germany's going to join the League of Nations. France will withdraw from the Ruhr. Okay. You're going to see France and Germany agree on Germany's western frontier. You're going to see this Kellogg-Briand Act during this time, signed by European states, Japan, and the United States, renouncing war. However, Germany is still upset with the Treaty of Versailles, the continuation of the war reparations, and the Great Depression is about to hit. Okay, so during the mid-1920s, things are looking like they're stable. They're stabilizing. Things might be getting a little bit better. No. Okay, no. All right. The Weimar Republic will not survive the Great Depression. Things are going to get very bad in Germany. Okay, unemployment reaches 6 million people in 1932. People are going to be desperate, hungry, looking for a job, and Hitler is going to pounce on that opportunity. Okay, the economic downturn and the deadlock in the Reichstag will allow for extreme political parties such as the Nazis to take advantage, and Hitler's Nazis will take advantage of that. Check this out. In only just 2 years, the Nazis are going to go from 12 seats in the Reichstag to 107. And Hitler is going to be using his essay, using propaganda, using telling lies. Joseph Goebbels will be the propaganda minister for the Nazis. And his saying is, if you tell a lie enough times, it will become truth to the people. And so they're just going to be having these outrageous lies. And also, I believe that he said that you accuse your enemy of what you are guilty of. Those are some of the famous quotes from their propaganda minister, Joseph Goebbels. So the Nazis are going to be using all of these intimidation tactics, press censorship, many of these tactics in order to get power. Okay, and so you're going to see parliamentary deadlock between social democrats and conservatives is going to lead to this rising of extreme political parties, communists and Nazis, but we're going to see the Nazis take over. And you're going to see Nazi politics. The Nazis go out there and start intimidating, beating up the liberals, beating up communists, okay? They're going to have Hitler have his own personal Nazi military of 1 million people going out and attacking communists, attacking socialists, being brutal, beating people up, killing them. in order to slowly consolidate favor and power. Okay, and you're going to see the Nazis regularly parading throughout Germany, gathering support. Hitler's promising to, you know, Hitler's promising the people to get them out of the Great Depression, to bring greatness back to Germany, to you know, kind of get Germany back into the playing field and establish a Third Reich. Okay, and this is a picture from one of Hitler's rallies, and he would do this regularly, you know, parading through the streets. All right, and Hitler, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be perceived as almost like a godlike figure during the apex of his power in the 1930s. You are going to see him be just incredibly popular in Germany. Little do they know about the horrors that he's going to bring upon and the terrible things that he's going to do. Okay, here is kind of a picture of their western border with France. All right, and you're going to see all these different things that are going on during the 1920s and 1930s. Okay, this is a picture of the Nazis in the 1936 Olympics. All right, very famous story here. It's Hitler's, you know, promoting all of his racist ideals, promoting all of his terrible ideals. And Jesse Owens goes out and wins all those. The African American from the United States, Jesse Owens, goes out and wins all those gold medals right in front of Hitler to kind of disprove all of his racist and terrible theories concerning the Aryan race and Aryan superiority. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna see the conservatives, some of the more moderate conservatives, wanted to work with the Nazis but did not want to give Hitler power. Okay, and Hindenburg is gonna really be put in a tough spot with Hitler. All right. After about 8 months of trying to deal with the Nazis without putting Hitler in power, he's going to name Hitler chancellor. Very similar to what Italy did, the Italian king, Victor Emmanuel, did with Mussolini. You know, trying not to get a civil war to pop off, trying to make sure everything's okay, and we're going to see him name Hitler chancellor. Okay, he's going to try to control Hitler, really similar almost to Napoleon. Abyssinia is trying to control Napoleon. Not going to work. You're going to see Hindenburg try to appoint individuals to Hitler's cabinet to try to control him. Not going to work. Okay, and we're going to see Hitler, just like Mussolini, become chancellor through legal means. Okay, and Hitler enjoyed a lot of support from a lot of different people. Farmers, veterans, young people. He promised security against the socialists and communists. He promised to give people jobs. He made all these promises, and he's going to be very, very, very popular amongst the people. Okay, and he was a master of mass politics and of propaganda. I mean, he's going to silence the media. He's going to tell all these outrageous lies, and he is going to be really deceptive with the people. Oops, sorry. Okay, and Hitler is going to slowly consolidate control throughout his reign. He's going to capture full legal authority. He's going to purge his rivals from the Nazi Party, very similar to Joseph Stalin. He's going to kill off his alternative political groups. Okay, and this is where he's going to pounce and use the Constitution to gain full power. So there was a mentally ill communist who's going to burn down the Reichstag, the German version of Parliament, and Hitler is going to really sensationalize this, kind of blow this story up, gain sympathy from the people, and issue Article 48, an emergency decree that's going to suspend all civil liberties, and he's going to arrest communists who could have been, you know, in cahoots with this communist who burned down the Reichstag, and he's going to use this in order to cement his dictatorship and cement his power. Okay. The Enabling Act is going to allow him to rule by decree. And it's not like you need to memorize all this, ladies and gentlemen, the big, big ideas. But the important thing here is by 1933, the Nazis are the only legal party in Germany. Okay? And Hitler is going to start. Now Hitler has the power of the German army. And so he's going to start eliminating his rival, okay? Any stormtrooper officers in his own SA, okay, who could potentially, you know, threaten his power. And so he is going to, you know, kind of turn his back on his paramilitary, those stormtroopers who helped him get power, especially a lot of the officers, but now he has the German army at his disposal. And Hitler's going to go to work making that German army a juggernaut once again. Okay? Now, when Hindenburg dies, Hitler's going to name himself chancellor and president, and he will be the sole ruler of Nazi Germany. So Hitler is here, and he's here to stay, and he's about to bring a hurricane to Europe. But Winston Churchill knows. Churchill knows. He's read his book. And there's a picture of the Reichstag fire. Okay? All right, let's stop here, and we're going to kind of finish up what the Nazis believe and go into, in our second lecture, talk a little about some of the Eastern European countries. Thank you so much.